Hello everybody, I'm Chantal.
I'm Cody.
This is Unit 5, Downward Spiral, and the preview. This is a rather sad story, I think. Recently the world lost a brilliant entrepreneur, Tony Hsieh. Many people would say his life was a train wreck because of how it ended, but he was also amazingly successful.
Entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
Train wreck.
Train wreck. Just to give you a bit of a background on him, he started working at Oracle, but after 5 months he quit and then he launched his own online company, Link Exchange. Did very well, sold this for more than $200 million to Microsoft. He then took some of that money and invested it in a company called Zappos. It's an online shoe retailer. And he started getting involved there. He was the CEO and once again did amazing, and Amazon bought this company once again. But yes, he seemed to like a life of partying a little too much, and that did have an impact on his work performance also. He did remain as the CEO of Zappos, but he had to step down because I think his party life, the life of the party lifestyle, was interfering with work. That unfortunately did lead to just a downward spiral of events, and unfortunately he died. His house caught on fire. I think the firefighters couldn't reach him on time. He died a few days later.
Downward spiral.
Downward spiral. Who is the most creative person you know?
Most creative person I know personally, I would have to say actually it's my mother. She's very creative in the arts. She's always wanting to paint and draw and do something new. And it felt like a year and a half to 2 years, she would always redecorate the home completely.
Wow.
Repaint everything, redo a lot of features and a lot of our furniture and everything. And of course, I was the helper. How about for you?
If I have to think someone I know, my grandmother, not so good with the cooking part, but extremely creative when it comes to she made wedding dresses, and she paints and she sews, and she's very creative. I think someone I don't know, I would say Elon Musk.
Oh.
He's a visionary, I think he's creative. You must be creative to think of things that's going to happen in the future like he's doing at the moment.
Oh.
What kind of work is good for creative people?
Oh, that's a hard one to pin down. It's easier to say what's not good for creative people.
Yeah.
Kind of the bureaucratic business, mundane office work, that will bore them and drive them crazy.
Right.
Which, does lead some of them down, in this downward spiral of whether it's depression or frustration. They got to release their creativity.
Right.
And so I would say, obviously, depending on what area of creativity, they need to be in something that's challenging, that's risky, that's expressive, so in the arts and different things. Mundane.
Mundane. Now for the language focus. First up is not just, also. For example, that restaurant doesn't just serve food, it also has live performances.
And for mine, it's for. So for my example, I love to cook, but I don't do it perfectly. But for an amateur, I'm pretty good.
That's it for our preview section. Please join us for the review.